I'm Alexa from Alexa Does Romance, and this is Covers with
Chris.
That's right. This is where my boyfriend Chris looks at the cover of a romance novel and then tells us what he thinks the book is about.
That is true.
It's very true. Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes. Well, they can answer for themselves.
True.
But they are.
They are so ready. All right. Please tell us what you think The Wedding Dilemma by Mariah Ankenman is about. Hope I said that right.
It's about them cheeks. Look at them. The Wedding Dilemma. Okay. Looks like, since I know, I can tell by the cover, firefighter.
Mm-hmm.
And the you can see at the top it says a red hot romantic comedy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy who's a firefighter,
Mm-hmm. What's his name?
you know, I hate to say it, but it's back. His name is Mark.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Yep.
And Mark
Mm-hmm.
is a firefighter, which
Okay.
I just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
But he's been a firefighter for a couple of years now. He's I wouldn't say quite like, super veteran, but he knows the basics. He's been there for about 3 years.
Uh-huh.
Been having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Saving lives, putting out fires.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't had to do anything like too crazy, or should I say traumatizing or anything like that. He's actually he's had a good run, and he actually has to go to a call.
Okay.
And there's a fire that broke out at a party, and this is where it gets a little confusing.
Okay.
Because the fire wasn't actually at the party.
Okay.
It was next door.
Okay.
But they got the call from the house at the party, so they thought it was there.
Uh-huh.
So he was the first to run in, and they thought he was the stripper.
No!
Yeah.
No!
Yeah. So once the other guys were like, oh wait, there's the fire over there, they all like moved over. He was the only one that ran into the party.
Oh no!
So then it became a very comical, him trying to ask people where the fire is, and they're throwing money at him, and it was very well written.
Oh, wow.
But in that process, he actually met a girl too, and he was kind of just like, oh, you're beautiful, but also, I gotta stop this fire. What is going on? And they're all like kind of into it and just like saying things, but they didn't know there was really a fire right next door, because the one person that called was from outside. So anyway, eventually he figures it out. He goes next door, helps everyone put out the fire. He feels a little embarrassed because he's like, oh my gosh, I went to the wrong house and they were a little nuts. And then like eventually some of the people at the party, especially the cute girl that was going to talk to him, was like, oh my gosh, there was a real fire. Like, what the heck? Because they did actually order
a male stripper?
Yes, yeah. And it wasn't, he was good, but he was not like he was not the firefighter. And they were like, oh, I actually want that real guy.
Mm-hmm.
So before he actually got back in the fire, she like ran out and was like, thank you, I'm so sorry, I thought it was a thing. And she kind of explained herself, and he was like, oh, I totally get it. They exchanged numbers.
Oh, what's her name?
Oh, yeah. Her name is Susan.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, so they exchanged numbers, and then...
So, she was kind of excited about it, but also like, this guy's a, firefighter, he's pretty busy or whatever. And the firefighter guy was actually like, hey, you know what? I actually haven't been dating anyone lately. Like, I've been enjoying my job. Like, I hang out at the firehouse. Everything's been fun, but I have been noticing, like, I've been missing something. And she seemed like a fun person, a little wild, but I do want to know more about it. She starts talking to her through text That is the way to do things now. And that evolves. And they start dating. A lot more comic stuff happens.
Okay.
Yeah. Fire related and not. And the story becomes they want to get married, but there's a dilemma.
Oh no!
Yeah. And you have to read more about the dilemma because I just told you how they met. The dilemma gets crazy, and that's where it gets really funny.
Wow.
There might be a magician.
You love magicians.
They're my favorite things.
Just gonna take this from me.
Okay.
The wedding dilemma is about a firefighter.
Yeah.
That goes out to a call.
Yep.
Meets a cute girl.
That's what I said.
Okay. They lose touch.
Close. Yeah.
Then,
yeah.
I can't remember actually right now. I think it's like his mom and her dad announce like, hey, we're getting remarried, but you don't know who's who. Oh. So the firefighter and the girl from the call show up, and it turns out their parents are getting married, and now they're going to be like step siblings.
Oh, yeah, that's a dilemma.
It's a dilemma.
That's the funny part I didn't mention. Yeah.
So they have to navigate the dilemma of them being attracted to each other, but also their parents are getting married.
Yeah.
What? Also, in the second book, I think it's called The Dating Dilemma. Oh. They actually have the setup of the woman thinks he's a stripper.
Oh. I think that's also where one of them is a magician.
Sure. Sure, babe. Great.
Yeah.
Got it. That's it.
I like it.
I like it too. Let's do it.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Firefighters almost falling for their sisters after they found out later that their parents are getting married, and it's a dilemma.
100%.
Yeah.
There we go.
One's a magician. Figure out who. Read the book.